Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Meredith E. Phillips, and today I wanted to chat with you about 2022 goals, sort of like part 2. If you missed my previous video from Tuesday, I chatted all about my 2022 goals. If you missed that video, I'll link it below. I would recommend checking it out first so you kind of know what I'm talking about here. But if you did take some time to watch that video, you might remember that my goals for 2022 were not exactly the most goal-like goals that you've ever heard in your life. They were a little more flexible than I've had in years past. So I promised at the end of that video that I would tell you a little more about why I decided to make them not quite as specific and again more flexible than I have previously. So as I was sitting and brainstorming and thinking through what I wanted to accomplish in the new year, I really found myself unwilling to put down super specific goals and super measurable goals and goals that had really specific deadlines for them. Some of the hallmarks of a true goal are things like make it really specific, make it something you can measure, make it something with a deadline, that kind of thing. And a lot of my goals really are not that. But the idea of putting that kind of pressure on myself again, like I did last year, I felt like I just couldn't do it again. And as I was sitting there thinking through what do you want to do and like how do you want to structure all of this, I felt this word pop to mind. And I thought that's the real goal. And that word was balance. I worked really hard in 2021 to make progress in my writing, to develop my social media channels, take care of family, and between all of that, I had very, very little time to actually rest. We all need rest. We all need time where we're not working on anything. And I felt like last year I was constantly working. And I don't mind working hard, but by the end of the year, I was feeling incredibly burned out. I felt exhausted. And frankly, at the time you're seeing this video, it's still early January and I still feel exhausted. I haven't had time yet for that rest that I really desperately need. The holidays were not really all that restful. I didn't have a whole lot of time off work and I just feel exhausted. The best thing I can think to compare how I feel right now is how I used to feel at the end of the school year when I was teaching. I taught for 5 years after I graduated from college. When you hit like early May and you had maybe a month and a half left of the school year, it was just this mega push to get to that final day of school. You had to keep the kids in line, you had to keep yourself from falling apart, and you have all the end of year activities and all, teachers have stuff on top of just the day-to-day stuff, obviously. You're still doing a lot of work on the evenings and in the weekends. Even after the kids have their last day, the teachers have to stay several days to a week later in order to like clean up their classroom and do inventory and do final things for placement for children for next year. Like there's a ton that you have to do at the end of the year as a teacher. And I remember coming home on that after that final teacher work day every year and you just went home and just collapsed. I literally would come home on several of those years. I remember coming home and immediately going to take like the longest nap of my life. Like you're just so exhausted physically, mentally, emotionally. And that level of exhaustion is how I feel now. And I realized again, as I was sitting and making those goals, I really need to work on a better balance between day job, between writing, between video creation, between personal life stuff, and actually finding time to rest. Some of that rest, I am happy to say, is about to happen very shortly. I have taken some extended time off of work, and so at 5 p.m. on January 12th, if you hear like the biggest sob of relief, it's going to be coming from me because my workday will have ended and I will officially be on a little bit of a break from everything. I'm taking off work from Thursday, January 13th, all the way through Sunday. I mean, I would normally have that off anyway, but January 23rd, a week and a half to do nothing. I plan to do no work. I plan to do no writing. I plan to do no filming, no editing, no social media posting, unless I absolutely actually feel like it, and it's just like this intense need to do it or something. I really don't think I'm gonna be feeling that need to film. No offense. I'm not gonna do anything that I don't wanna do. I've also been taking an extended break from writing. I didn't do any writing in December, and I don't plan to do any writing this month until the very last week of January. Now, you might think that's a really weird way to start off the new year when everyone's like super gung-ho about getting started and all this stuff, but I need time off. I need a break. And I'm honestly hoping that taking this kind of a break from my writing is going to help me feel more invigorated and excited about it when I sit down to write again at the end of the month. While I'm on my break though, I do still plan to have videos for you. I'm working hard right now to film and edit a lot of stuff ahead of time so that everything in January will be pre-filmed and ready to go, and you can be inspired and entertained, hopefully, and I can be taking a break. So let me go back a little bit to that word balance. The idea of picking like a word of the year isn't something super new. That concept has been around for a while, but I first heard about it from somebody called Ali Edwards. And if you have ever been interested in or involved in the scrapbooking community, you've probably heard of her. She's been around for over a decade now, and she's sort of like the ultimate scrapbooking guru, and she's really great. I think even if you don't scrapbook or do any kind of like life documenting sort of thing, I'll put all of her social links below. She's a great one to follow just as sort of another creative. I feel like she is very inspiring, but also very calm in her manner. I don't know. She's lovely. I like her a lot. I used to really be involved in scrapbooking and all that kind of stuff. And I used to follow a ton of other scrapbookers, and over the years I've not scrapbooked as much anymore, and now I don't do it at all. And so a lot of those people I've not followed anymore because I'm not interested in scrapbooking, but Ali Edwards is one that I have continued following because I find her content still relevant to me. So anyway, Ali Edwards does this project during the year called One Little Word, and she of course is doing it partly as a scrapbooky project. You get an album and you're doing different pages related to your word of the year, but you can also participate in it and not do all the scrapbooking stuff. So as soon as I had this word sort of like coming to me and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about it for days in a row, I thought, you know what, let me go check out the resources she has on her website about One Little Word. There are a ton of blog entries over on her website about this whole idea. I'll link those below as well. But there's also a year-long class that she has that you can sign up for, and you get monthly prompts and videos and things to think through and how to make sure that word is staying prominent in your life. I went ahead and signed up for the class because her level of introspection and her level of deep thinking when it comes to this kind of thing is really good. And I am hoping that having those monthly prompts and videos and content to consume, as well as another group of people who are pursuing the same sort of thing, will really help keep that word at the forefront of my mind and help me to remember to make sure I'm trying to balance everything in my life. I really think that maintaining that balance this year is going to be super important for my physical health, my emotional, mental health, and hopefully will make me not feel burned out when we get to the end of this year. I think one of the most difficult things is going to be finding that balance between working hard on really what is hobby type stuff, video making and writing, and resting. Because again, I really do enjoy making videos and writing, of course, but it can get to a point where it's overwhelming and exhausting. In my 2022 goals video, I said one of the things I did want to make sure I do this year is to take a 3-day weekend at least once a month. And the first thought I had when I was writing down this goal was, oh good, an extra day I'll be able to like film another video or get ahead on editing or like do extra writing work or catch up on household chores. And I was like, no, that's literally the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing. The reason I'm taking the extra time off is so I have purposeful time to rest. It is not to be a catch-up day. It's not supposed to be a day where I'm running all over the place trying to do all this other stuff. It's to sit and read a book. It's to sit and play video games. It's to take a nap at 2 in the afternoon if I want. It is for rest, not extra work. I'm also trying to find a balance between resting and social media content. That's why one of my goals was not a specific kind of number in terms of like followers or subscribers. I don't really care as long as it's like generally on the uptick. I don't really care what we end up with at the end of the year. I was working really hard last year to hit certain milestones and make sure I didn't miss any videos and all this kind of stuff. And like, there is definitely benefits to being consistent on YouTube and other social media platforms, but at what cost? You know, if I had skipped another 2 videos last year, would that really have made a huge difference? Probably not. If I get to a point where I'm like, you know what? I just need to skip a video this week, I'm gonna do it. And I'm not gonna feel bad about it, and I'm not gonna apologize for it, and I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. Same thing again with the writing goals you saw in my goals video. I really just sort of have a general list of like, here is the flow, here is the path I'm gonna take, but I don't have any kind of specific time goals for any of them. So yes, balance is going to be the key word for 2022. We're gonna try really hard to make that true for myself. I want a time for work, and I want a time for play, and I want a time for rest. I'm looking forward to the rest. I'm looking forward to making progress too, but hopefully in a more healthy way for myself. Let me know how you felt at the end of 2021. Were you like really excited to get started on a new year and new goals, or were you feeling burned out and exhausted like me? Have you ever done this sort of like one little word or word of the year type thing where you try to focus on or weave a word into your daily or weekly life? Let me know how that went for you if you did. Is finding a balance between goals and rest and work and all of the other things, is that something that comes easy for you, or is that something you struggle with also? I know some of you are struggling with that too. I can't be the only one. Let me know in the comments below if that's you. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button. I post videos on Tuesdays and Fridays, as long as that's in accordance with my balance. You can follow me over on Instagram at Meredith Phillips Writes, and you can head over to my website, meredithphillips.com, to sign up for my newsletter. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.